Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to our lecturer Madam Noauliani and our beloved classmates. We are from the silent group. Today we will present about the scenario that has been given to our group involving Mr. Bala. Our group consists of 4 members, myself, Farah Aini binti Ismail, and 3 others, Nur Ain Zalika binti Zamri, Nur Nurul Nabita binti Aziz, and Farah Amira binti Muhammad Isa. This is the statement that we will answer the question based on that. Alright, the statement provides 6 questions to be elaborated and answered by our group members. Alright, question 1. Briefly describe the Champuri model of credit. I will explain a little bit about introduction to Champuri model of credit. First of all, there are many other models used by banks to evaluate loan proposals, but Champuri is the oldest model used by banks to assess whether the loan proposal passed the qualification or not. The abbreviation for 5C credit analysis, also known as Champuri. 5C are referred to character, condition, capacity, capital, and also collateral. Champuri assesses borrowers based on several factors. The first is character, that refers to a person's character in terms of dress, manner of speaking and negotiating, as well as adherence to the agreements made. In this case, Encik Bala has a bad character because he cannot afford to make payments on time. Second, the ability, especially in managing financial affairs. Encik Bala has the ability to repay his loans because he has a job and earns an income every month. Okay, the third is margins of finance. Margin is collateral that investors have to deposit to cover the credit risk that will be posed by the holder. Encik Bala had booked a single story terrace for 300,000. He has paid a deposit of 30,000, then the interest rate for the case of Encik Bala is as much as 10%. Therefore, the upfront margin to be paid by Encik Bala is 270,000. So, Mr. Bala still has 90% of the loan balance to be repaid on time. Okay, the fourth is purpose, referring to the purpose of the loan. The borrower must clearly indicate why it needs the money and also how it will use it, either for things that benefit or violate its rules as a borrower. In this case, if Mr. Bala wants to spend the money on other things, it needs to be stated once to the bank. The fifth level of Champuri is the amount of the loan. Total loan of Encik Bala with the bank is 270,000. Later, Mr. Bala issued an MRTA insurance plan of 5,500. So, the total loan is 275,500. Next are the repayment terms. There are several loan repayment conditions, among which is that the borrower should be prepared to show substantial documentation related to profit margins, cash flow forecasts, and other key financial information. Okay, last but not least is insurance. Insurance requires a backup plan to ensure that the borrower can still repay the loan in the event of receiving an unsatisfactory return.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Ain Zalika binti Zamri. My number matric is 19BB03015. Okay, today I want to talk about question number 2. Mr. Bala and MRTA insurance. Applying the Champuri approach, would you support Mr. Bala application based on her own material? Provide your rationale. Okay, point number one is Mr. Bala home loan was covered by MRTA, which is a life insurance plan with a decreasing sum issued over time. This plan is typically supplied by the bank from whom he obtained the mortgage, and it serves as insurance for the bank in the event of unforeseen that prevent the bank from serving the loan. Okay, number 2 is the asset is frequently used as security loan for the lending bank in asset financing because the asset is necessary to support the loan and provide credit protection. The bank must ensure that the security is kept in excellent working order and retain its value. Number 3 is people who have appropriate life and medical insurance on their own and don't have many financial dependents. This sort of insurance will only cover Mr. Bala home debt if it is not fully repaid. The bank is the only one who benefit from the coverage, not his family. His family, on the other hand, will receive the property free of any bank debt. Now move to question number 3. Notwithstanding your response to question 2 above, how would you strengthen Mr. Bala's case in the event the application is not approved by your management? Case if the application is not approved. Answer number 1 is Mr. Bala can still make his loan for a house and he has no other loan problems that make his loan suspended or even denied. With this loan can still be continued for the financing of a 1-unit double-story terrace. Answer for number 2 is Mr. Bala can use his wife's salary to further strengthen the money loan for their home or find a house that a little cheaper.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Nurul Novita binti Aziz. Nombor matriks 19BB03-018. Saya akan menyambung kepada soalan nombor 4 iaitu 4A. What is the purpose of credit verification? Credit verification is the process of confirming the borrower's declared information. This is where the credit officers should exercise diligence and intelligence when verifying the information gathered from the internet and external sources in order to facilitate a fair and accurate credit evaluation. The information is required for making a credit decisions can vary and the extent of information needed depends on each individual loan's application. Some things to consider include the nature of the applicant business along with the applicant financial and personal condition. The nature of the loan, whether it is a business loan or a personal loans, is also a factor that must be taken into considerations. Next, for 4B, where can you obtain the information to check if Mr. Bala is a reliable borrower? Name 2 sources of it and explain. Number 1, borrower details of personal details of borrower like name, identification number, IC, address and so on. Number 2, borrower credit accounts details such as type of credit facilities, credit limits, outstanding balance, conduct of account and legal action status. All such information is needed to prevent the borrowers from cheating on personal information and assess the borrower's ability to pay the borrowed loan. As for the question 4C, differentiate between information risk and fraud risk. Information risk refer to the risk that bad or incomplete information may be used by the credit information in the making of a loan recommendation. Bad or incomplete information increase the credit risk undertaken by the lending bank. There are, however, instances of lending without sufficient information where both the credit officer and the loan applicant have attempted to justify improperly the loan decision based on the availability of good collateral to the lending bank. Meanwhile, for the fraud risk is different from the credit risk because there is an element of intent to cheat and cheat. Information required for credit processing may be intentionally left out, withheld, designed, falsified, or altered for a loan application. In doing so, then the fraudster hopes to obtain a loan fraudulently and intend to avoid repayment or run away with the funds obtained. Untuk soalan seterusnya akan disambung oleh Farah Ayuni.
Okay, next is question 5. Alright, the risk referred to in this question is the risk of uncompleted house by developer. This risk refers to the developer not being able to complete the house on time as promised. Okay, in this case, even if the developer is not able to complete the promised house, but the customer still has to make a payment even if the condition of the house is not fully ready. Okay, in addition, the customer also has to face the risk with the bank due to the agreement that has been made between the bank and the customer. Okay, in this case also Mr. Bala will have trouble to making a house loan in the future, as he has a poor loan record due to the developer. Okay, next is how bank can minimize the risk. There are 3 ways bank can minimize the risk. Okay, bank can minimize the risk of an uncompleted house by the developer by looking for well-known developers. A well-known developer is definitely an honest and trustworthy person, especially in terms of financial security. There will not be any terrible risk by home buyers or investor unless the project will fail. Okay, well-known developers also have good planning and scheduling. Okay, therefore it is appropriate for the bank to look for better and more experienced developers to ensure that it can reach the targeted deadline. The second way for banks to minimize risk is by getting to know their customers and developers. Banks need to know about their customer in advance to ensure that the services they require from the banks are compliant or not. Banks are also required to conduct consumer credit checks as well as civil and criminal record reviews. This is because anyone with a suspicious financial status will be affected by the repayment of project financing. Okay, the third way is banks also need to carry out the diligence. Perseverance is important as a wise business strategy. It's not just about following the rules and avoiding high fines or restrictions. Customer due diligence, or we call that CDD, is one of the level of identifying customers and checking whether what they are saying is correct or not. It ensures that they are properly assessed for risk. There are 2 levels of perseverance, namely simple perseverance and enhanced perseverance, or we call that EDD.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farah Mira binti Muhammad Isa. My matrix number is 19 BB03011. Okay, for the next question is distinguish between CCRIS and dishardened check information system. Why these 2 systems are important to the bank? Okay, the first one is, what is CCRIS? CCRIS is defined as a Central Credit Reference Information System. Central Credit Reference Information System is computerized database that has been established at Bank Negara Malaysia's Credit Bureau since 1982 in compliance with the Bank of Malaysia Act 1958. Okay, according to the CCRIS report collected by Bank Negara Malaysia, is one of the techniques used by bank to assess customers' creditworthiness. It collects and provides credit information for individuals in Malaysia. This information will be included in the individual credit report and also can be used during credit application such as personal loan, car loan, housing loan, or credit card. Okay, next is why CCRIS is important. The main reason that CCRIS is so important is when you want to apply for a loan or credit card, before the bank determine whether your application can be processed or not, they will refer to your credit record. Okay, the bank will use this information to determine whether or not they are willing to take on the risks of granting your loan application. If your credit record is clean, with no arrears or blacklisting, the bank will almost probably approve your loan or credit card application. However, if the opposite things happens, the bank will not take the risks and will deny your applications. A good credit score can help secure a loan with a lower interest rate than usual in some cases. One more thing is, if you have a lot of loans, the bank will cautious to approve their loan because you already have a high risk borrower, even if your monthly payment is attractive. Since each bank's counting system is different, only the bank shows how your credit history is used to estimate your loan approval possibility. What is DCHEQ? DCHEQ named as Dishonored Check Information System. Dishonored Check Information System is a computerized database system that Bank Negara developed and maintains to collect, process, store and generate information of dishonored check. It contains information about incidents involving bounce check. This information including details such as name, address, identity card number, account number, check number, issuance date and amount. Alright. This Harnet Check Information System is not a Bank Negara blacklist. In fact, the names of current account holders who issue these Harnet checks are not realized by Bank Negara. This Harnet Check Information System only keeps track of current account holders' information. Because of the Harnet Check, it's possible that the existing current account will not be reopened. The establishing of a new current account, on the other hand, is subject to the bank's discretion and depends on the bank's internal policy. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you.